Hey everybody, real quick before we dive into today's episode, I want to let you know that I'm doing a giveaway here on this podcast. So one of you can win a $50 Amazon gift card. What do you have to do to enter this giveaway? All you have to do is to leave me a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. And here's how you can do it. So open your phone, open the podcast app, go to my show, and there is a purple clickable link. You click on that, then scroll all the way down until you see ratings and reviews. And leave me a 5-star rating, leave me a review, and one of you will win that $50 Amazon gift card. I will announce the winner on the last episode in October. So good luck, and here is the show. Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the Balanced Vibes podcast, and I am your host, Kirsten. Today, I wanted to do an episode for those of you who are struggling to get started with working out or who have had a longer break and are struggling to get back on track with your workouts. This struggle can be really very, very real. I feel like I want to, I know I should be, I have done this before, but I just cannot get going. So today I want to give those of you some tips on how you can get going. And let me tell you that the first problem here, or actually pretty much the only problem that is really the true problem here, is that you are probably trying to be too perfect with it. You want all your ducks to be in order, everything has to be perfect, but it's not going to be like this all the time. So you actually have to figure out a way how to keep going with your exercise and your fitness when things are not perfect, right? So don't let the perfectionism get on your way, right? Because you can get really good results without being perfect. Actually, I don't want you to try to be perfect. So I want to give you today, I believe I have 8 tips here that will help you to get started, okay? So the first thing I want to tell you is that just take the first step and stop relying on these fancy tools like goal trackers and vision boards. Instead of having these things, just go do the right thing, right? Of course, those things are fun. They can be very motivating and inspiring to put like all these nice clothes and body types and bikinis, whatever you want on that vision board. It can great to have things like bullet points, like I'm going to do this, 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 and this, and this week. It can be nice to have these things and they might inspire you. But at the end of the day, what really matters is, are you going to do anything? Or are you only going to be there and looking at that vision board? Because looking at that vision board is not going to get you anywhere, no matter how pretty it is. So instead, or maybe not instead, maybe you made your vision board. So now what is the next step? The next step is actually go and get something done, right? And you can even think, what is the simplest thing? Maybe life feels super overwhelming for you right now. You're like, oh my God, I have this and that and the third thing, and I don't have the right tools, and I don't have the right shoes, and I don't have this and that. But you can do something. You can absolutely do something when it comes to your workouts. Could you go for an extra walk today? Could you take 15 minutes and go for an extra walk today? Or if you haven't used your dumbbells in a while, you know that they're somewhere in your basement, go and find them, right? Go and take them out so that you know, okay, now I'm going to use them. Do like 2 sets of squats with them. Do something. Do the simplest thing that takes a little bit of effort, but it's not overwhelming, and puts you on this path of getting started. It's super important because, like, yes, the fancy tools, they're fancy, but they're not getting anywhere. You can look at your vision board for like 7 days in a row and do nothing about it, and you're still going to be in the same place where you were 7 days ago, right? So get started with something. Take some imperfect action. Get going. All right. The next thing I will say is, don't overcommit, right? So if you're totally new to working out, or if there's been a longer break, then you may be tempted to commit to something pretty intense and something pretty overwhelming. For example, a lot of people commit to doing 6 workouts a week, right? I'm going to do this no matter what, rain or shine, I'm going to do this. And then they get started, they do 6 or even 7 workouts a week. And then the motivation goes away and you get too sore, life gets overwhelming and too busy and you don't have the time. And then you're like, oh, screw this, I'm not going to do this at all. But I will say that don't even start with a goal like this. It's unnecessary. If you're new or if you've had a longer break, commit to like 2 workouts a week. See if you can do that, right? Commit to that 2, maybe max 3 workouts a week. and commit to that. Put it in your calendar and follow through, so you actually do that stuff, and you won't be as sore, you won't be as tired, so you will actually feel good, and you feel like it's great to go. You're looking forward to maybe those workout days, versus they become like this dread that you just have to do because you promise yourself you're going to do it 6 days a week, 7 days a week. It becomes super exhausting and overwhelming. So don't overcommit. And also, I will say that if you're a beginner or if you've had a longer break, you're going to start getting great results from just 2, 3 workouts a week. You don't have to do more for your results either. This is the really wrong story in the fitness world, that the more you do, the better you get. No, fitness doesn't always work this way. What you have to do is train smarter. It doesn't mean that you have to train always more. And as you have seen from many examples on this podcast too, and one of them was the episode with Stephanie that I did a guest interview with Stephanie, where she said too that she was surprised to learn that instead of 5 workouts, out of which some were cardio and HIIT 2, she's now only doing 3 workouts a week, and she's getting better results. So she's committing to 3, and she's not a beginner, but 3 is enough for her. And she also said that sometimes she feels like, oh, I'm going to do the 4th one, but then I'm like, I don't really need to. And she's right. If she's getting results with 3, she does not have to be doing 4, because she's also moving outside of her workout. She's being active anyway. So there's no reason to overcommit to too many things, too much intensity, and too many workouts a week. 2, 3 is perfect starting point. All right. Then the next thing I will say is don't have what I call 0 days, right? 0 days are days where you don't move at all, right? When you're just like having a super lazy day, you're just in bed or on the couch all day long. This is a 0 day. So every day, get in at least a little bit of movement. If it's not a habit right now, get started with it. Even if it is a 15-minute walk, even if it's, I don't know, going out and doing something physical, walking with your kid, or I don't know, washing your car, doing a little bit of gardening, something like this that will get you going, because it makes a huge difference in your health, in your mood, by the way, when you get outside for a little bit. Okay, some days maybe outside is not an option. Maybe it's like crazy hot like it is in Arizona, or maybe it's freezing cold and you just don't want to go. Although I think that even in these circumstances, you can get outside. But let's say maybe you're super sensitive to heat or cold and you just can't go. Well, then go walk on the treadmill, do a little bit of something, and avoid these 0 days. And I'm super grateful that I never, well, when I was already little, we always had this habit of walking, at least 1 walk a day. And this came with me when I was already, growing up. And if you're a parent, maybe you can start this habit with your kids too, so that we don't have 0 days. We do something every day. This will really start this good habit of being active every day. And being active doesn't have to mean a workout. Being active can just be a little stroll around the neighborhood, right? Now, the next tip that I have for you when we talk about workouts, stop looking for soreness, okay? Soreness is still something that a lot of people see as a indicator of a really good workout, but it absolutely is not. You can get sore. Sometimes you will get sore, and it is fine, but don't intentionally like search for it. Don't push yourself with a goal of like, if I'm not sore tomorrow, then it wasn't a good workout. A lot of beginners have this mindset actually that they have to get sore, otherwise it didn't count. Some other things that I see is like, it has to burn a ton of calories. I've talked about this so much on this podcast. Your workout is not for you to burn calories, right? Of course, yes, you will burn, but it shouldn't be the goal to burn as many as possible. The goal shouldn't also be like sweat as much you can, right? These things are just really bad indicators of good workout. So don't seek for them. What you want to get out from soreness is like, sorry, not soreness, but your workout is like, you want to feel like you did something, but you still feel good afterwards. You don't want to be like, I just can't move the next day. I can't get out of my bed. I can't use the bathroom because I am in such a terrible pain. You don't want that, because then what it means is that your next workout is probably going to be ruined. You're going to have a 0 day, which we just talked you don't want to have. You're not going to feel great. You feel like inflamed and puffy and aching. It's just really, really uncomfortable. So don't chase for soreness. What you want to be feeling after your workout is like good energy. Okay, I did something. I definitely challenged my body. I challenged my muscles. I feel actually more energetic than I did before, and I didn't burn myself out. If you get constantly sore, always sore, it means that you always overreached a little bit. And this is really not the goal that you want to have. Okay, then the next thing, next tip that I have for you is to stop working out with just one reason, and that reason is weight loss. If you do it only for this one reason, then there's a really good chance that you're going to stop pretty soon. Because if you're working out, you're like, oh, is my scale down? Is my scale down? Is it down tomorrow? It's not down. Oh, why would I even do this? See where it goes, right? And this is totally wrong. You don't want that, right? I even see it with sometimes with people that I talk to. I'm like, we're doing this, this, and this, and this. We're not going to worry about your weight right now because we need you to get strong first. And people tell me, I understand. And then 4 weeks later, they're like, but why is my weight not going down? Remember, this is not the goal. It may happen, but it does not always have to happen, especially if you have a history with lots of dieting. And especially if you haven't done resistance training for a long time, you actually may gain a little bit of weight at first. So I want you to chill out, calm down. We're not looking for weight loss right now. Don't make your exercise only about weight loss. I understand that weight loss could be your ultimate goal. Yes, you want to get that. Absolutely. I understand that. I will help you with that. But also understand that if this is your only goal, you're not going to stick with exercise. And we want to make exercise a lifelong habit. So it's not like 1 month project and then I'm like, oh, screw this. I don't want to do this anymore. We want to create a habit that is there for life, right? So that you can continue to stay healthy or get even healthier than you are right now. There's so many benefits to working out that go way beyond weight loss, right? We can talk about blood sugar management. We can talk about pre-diabetes and diabetes management. We can talk about cravings. Your cravings are going to be way less. Your sleep might be a lot better, as you heard in the interview that I did with Carolyn, right? She said, I started resting so much better. My sleep got so much better. She also mentioned that her PMS symptoms pretty much went away. There's so many benefits that you can get from exercise. Don't put all your eggs in one basket that has a label weight loss on it. It really isn't only that. So you have to be really clear about this and stop. Really, you got to stop complaining. If you're like, oh, 4 weeks and nothing has happened, it may not happen that fast at all. And I want you to instead start noticing the other wins that you're definitely seeing when you're working out regularly, lifting weights regularly, taking walks regularly. Okay, then the next tip that I have for you is to stop following these accounts that are unrealistic or put thoughts in your head that you're not good enough or you should be looking like them. There's just so much crap out there in the Instagram world and on the internet overall. So if you are looking at these pictures of people who are talking about like fast weight loss and what they did in order to get that, you're gonna feel like I can never be this. How come my program is not working as fast? What is wrong with me? There is this and that girl, and she, lost 20 pounds in 4 weeks, something like that. You have to stop that scrolling. You really have to. Think about real life. Like, do you see on every step when you walk around at your gym or on the street, whatever, how many people do you see with ripped abs? How many? And then open your Instagram, how many do you see there? Right? So what you see on Instagram or on internet is just often curated. It's people are showing their highlight reels, right? And you don't have to watch that. You don't have to take that in because what it has the potential of doing is to make you feel worse, right? It may not be like this. Maybe you're strong and you don't care and you're on your own path. Then keep following, do what you want, right? But if you know that these things do trigger you and they bother you, it's so much better for you to just close the freaking app and go do your thing instead of scrolling and admiring other people's bodies and wishing and wondering why you cannot be there. Just close the damn app and go for a walk or do something for your health. It is not useful to compare yourself to like the other people. There is, of course, a healthy way to use them as motivation. Absolutely understand that. Maybe there's like a meaningful story that you can relate with, or that's something that sounds realistic. But what I don't want you to do is looking at some something really totally unrealistic, like how somebody's walking out with a six-pack abs and doing something really restrictive, or like tons of hit training. The stuff just that doesn't work for you, and it's not going to give you the result. It's going to burn you out and all that. Stop following the shit. It's not going to help you, right? Keep your eyes on your own path and do what you know, what is good for your body. If you don't know what is good for your body, reach out. I'm happy to help you figure that out together. Okay, so a couple of other tips that I have for you. One of them is that don't wait for the perfect time to start. You're always going to be busy. So how often do I hear that? Oh, I have to do this, that, and that, then that, and now is somebody's birthday, and that's New Year. It's not a good time. There's never going to be a good time. When I will tell you that this is going to be your lifelong habit, why not just start it now? You're not going to take vacations. I mean, not like 3-month vacations from working out, unless, I don't know, you get injured or something like that, right? But this is going to be your lifestyle now. So you're going to find a way to move your body every day, because you're not going to have 0 days, right? So it doesn't make any sense to wait until this season is over, that season is over, New Year starts, and Monday starts. Why not to start today? And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything massive. Just get started with this one thing today and do it today, right? Perfect conditions will never come. They'll never come. When do you ever have time? Like, you have absolutely nothing on your schedule. You can now fully focus on your fitness. That can happen, right? So why not instead try to squeeze it in? Even if you have 20 minutes a day, do something. Do something, and you'll see that you're going to start feeling better. You're going to feel empowered. Yes, I'm doing this. See, I'm doing this. I'm no longer like making another vision board. I'm actually doing the damn thing. I just went for a walk, or I went, lifted a little bit of weights, and I did this. So now I'm catching some good momentum here. Let's keep going instead of waiting. And then if you keep waiting, next month you're like, oh, I wish I had started last month. I would have been ahead of, where I'm right now. I would be ahead of that. So why didn't I start? So start today. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Okay, and one more thing that I have for you is to stop telling you the story that being unfit runs in my family and I cannot do anything about it. Now, of course, there are conditions like that. It is a possibility for some people, but majority is in our hands. It really is when it comes to movement. Almost everybody can go out for a walk. Almost everybody can start with some sort of resistance training. Doesn't have to be weights, even if you're a beginner. Start with body weight. Everybody can do something. And when we're telling ourselves the story that it's my genetics, it's my poor family history, and everybody in this family is in poor health, then you have the power to turn this around. I have had several clients who have told me that I saw what happened to my mom, I saw what happened to my dad, and I want to avoid this, right? Carolyn, also coming back to this interview, Carolyn told us that she had aunts in her family that were pre-diabetic and diabetic in their 50s, and she was like, I don't want this to happen to me, so I'd better get to work. This is the attitude that you want to have. Instead of, she could have been like, oh yeah, it runs in my family, nothing to do about it, so this is my destiny too. It does not have to be. And also notice, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel empowered when you say that, oh, I can't do anything about it? Or you could say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change this. I believe that I can do this. I'm going to get started. I'm not going to wait till tomorrow. I'm going to do this today, right? How does that make you feel? I think it makes you feel a lot more empowered. So do the thing. Start with something. Start with one little thing, and then make it a habit. Do it every day. Do every day a little bit, so you don't have those 0 days. And keep those eyes off the scale if it's really distracting for you. Like I said before too, it really doesn't tell you the entire truth about your health, especially when you start lifting. Your weight may not change a lot at all at first. You got to accept this and see the other things that are getting better, the other things that are improving as you are working out. So it really isn't all about the scale. So these are the tips that I have for you. And I hope that if you haven't moved your body today, that this inspired you to go and do something, right? Go do something for you. This will make you feel a lot more empowered. It will make you feel like, I want to go back for more. I want to do this again because I felt better. I hear from so many people, even those who were total beginners and had never stepped their foot in the gym, like half a year later, they're like, actually, I really miss it now when I cannot go. So this is where you want to be. gym or not, with any kinds of movement, you want to get to the point where this is a lifestyle, this is what you do, this is who you are right now, and it feels really empowered because you're doing something for your health every single day. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let me know if you have any thoughts, anything else you would like me to talk about on this podcast. I'm happy to take your recommendations, and I want to hear what you want to know more about. So thanks so much, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.